Today we're diving into a list of some of the best turn-based RPGs you can play right now. Whether you're into deep strategy, old-school pixel art, or just want a solid story with great combat, this list has something for you. So let's not waste any more time. Here are 15 turn-based RPGs you definitely need to check out. Starting off with Bravely Default 2. This is one of those JRPGs that really leans into the old-school formula, but still feels slick and modern. The job system is super deep. You can mix and match abilities in ways that just break the game, in the best way possible. It's got turn-based combat with a twist thanks to the Brave and Default mechanics, which basically let you bank or burn turns. The story? Kinda standard at first, but it does go places. I won't spoil it, but trust me, it's got layers. If you want something classic but with a modern coat of paint, this game delivers. Definitely one of the must-plays if you're into turn-based stuff. Okay, this one's a big deal. Dragon Quest III is getting the full HD 2D makeover, and it looks absolutely stunning. It's still the classic turn-based formula at its core, but with that modern Square Enix pixel art style that just pops. If you've never played the original, this is like the definitive way to experience one of the most important JRPGs ever made. The class system lets you shape your party however you want, and the world has that charming old-school adventure vibe. It's nostalgic, sure, but it also feels fresh thanks to the visual overhaul. This is one for the history books, and now, finally, it looks the part. Now this one came out of nowhere and completely blew people away. Chained Echoes is a love letter to classic 16-bit era JRPGs, but with some surprisingly modern polish. You're getting a big world, tons of characters, turn-based battles that actually move fast, and no random encounters, thank God. The game mixes swords, magic, and even mechs, which sounds insane but somehow just works. The combat system uses a unique overdrive mechanic that keeps you thinking every turn. And the story, way deeper and more emotional than it has any right to be. This is easily one of the best turn-based indie RPGs in recent years. This one's part of a massive interconnected JRPG saga. And yeah, it rewards players who pay attention. Trails to Azure continues the story from Trails from Zero and brings even more layered politics, character drama, and world building. The turn-based combat system is tactical and satisfying, letting you position allies on a grid, time abilities, and chain attacks for big payoffs. The writing is sharp, with tons of dialogue and side content that actually adds meaning to the main plot. It's dense, no doubt, but if you're into long-term storytelling and deep systems, it's gold. Easily one of the most underappreciated turn-based RPGs out there. Now this one goes hard on tactical turn-based combat and wraps it in a story full of politics, drama, and betrayal. You're a professor at a military academy, choosing one of 3 houses to lead, and that one decision changes everything. The grid-based battles are intense and unforgiving if you play with permadeath on, which you should. Between fights, you're managing relationships, teaching skills, and basically running your own Hogwarts but with way more swords. The writing's sharp, the cast is massive, and the choices actually matter. If you're into strategic turn-based RPGs with real stakes, this one's an easy recommendation. You already know what this is, one of the most iconic JRPGs of all time. Final Fantasy VII blends science fiction and fantasy in a way that still hits decades later. The turn-based combat, the massive world, the unforgettable characters, yeah, it's all here. This game pretty much defined what a big-budget RPG could be back in the day. And despite its age, the original version still holds up with that classic ATB battle system and emotional storytelling. If you're into turn-based games and haven't touched this one, that's basically a crime. It's not just a classic, it's the classic. This one's kind of a hidden gem that finally got the spotlight it deserves with a full HD 2D remake. Live Alive is wild. It's basically 7 different short RPGs set in totally different time periods, each with its own characters and combat mechanics. One minute you're a ninja in feudal Japan, the next you're in the far future with psychic powers. It's all turn-based, but every scenario plays a little differently, which keeps things fresh. The grid-style combat adds a light tactical twist without overcomplicating things. It's stylish, creative, and honestly way ahead of its time back when it first released. Now, it's finally getting the love it earned. This one takes everything the first game did and just levels it up. You've got 8 new characters, each with their own unique storylines and abilities, and you can tackle them in any order you want. The turn-based combat is incredibly polished with the break and boost system, letting you stack attacks or play it safe. It always keeps you thinking. What really stands out here is the presentation. The HD 2D visuals are next level, and the soundtrack absolutely slaps. There's also way more interaction between characters this time around, which was something people really wanted. If you're craving that classic JRPG feel with modern design, this one's an absolute must. This is where Mario's RPG journey all started, and it still hits just as hard today. Super Mario RPG blends traditional turn-based combat with timed button presses that make every attack and defense feel active. The world is charming and weird in the best way, talking weapons, cloud princes, and of course Bowser on your team. It's goofy, it's heartfelt, and it moves at a great pace. The remake keeps all the classic vibes but updates the visuals and smooths out the gameplay without messing up the original formula. Whether you're a Mario fan or just love a tight, polished turn-based game, this is a must-play. Persona 5 Royal is a turn-based RPG where you're a high school student by day and a phantom thief by night, jumping into surreal mind palaces to steal corrupt desires. The combat system is slick and fast, with elemental weaknesses and one more turns keeping battles dynamic. What really makes it stand out is how it blends dungeon crawling with social sim mechanics. You're leveling up friendships, managing time, and planning your life like it's part of the fight. Royal adds new characters, story arcs, and quality-of-life fixes that make it the definitive version. It's bold, unforgettable, and one of the best modern turn-based RPGs, period. Set in a politically charged world, you're making tough decisions that actually shift the direction of the story. And yeah, some of them hurt. Battles play out on grid-based maps with height, terrain, and positioning all affecting your strategy. It's less about flashy moves and more about smart planning. The visuals are that gorgeous HD 2D style, and the dialogue-heavy narrative leans into Game of Thrones level drama. If you're into deep, thoughtful RPGs where your brain gets more of a workout than your reflexes, this one's for you. These are legendary JRPGs finally getting the remaster treatment they deserve. You're looking at 2 massive turn-based adventures with political intrigue, betrayal, and armies to build. What makes Suikoden special is the 108 recruitable characters. Yeah, that's not a typo. And building your own base of operations as you gather them. The turn-based combat is fast, clean, and even throws in large-scale war battles and duels to shake things up. The pixel art has been updated, the music's been remastered, but the heart of the originals is fully intact. This is JRPG history, and it still holds up beautifully. This one's intense, brutal, and unapologetically strategic. You're dropped into a post-apocalyptic Tokyo where angels and demons are at war, and it's up to you to survive and decide how things play out. The turn-based combat is all about exploiting weaknesses. One wrong move and the enemy wipes your whole party. You can recruit demons, fuse them together, and build a custom lineup that fits your playstyle. It's not easy, but that's kind of the point. The new Vengeance version adds a whole new story path and more content to dive into. For hardcore turn-based RPG fans, this is as deep and challenging as it gets. This game feels like it came straight out of the golden age of JRPGs, in the best possible way. It's inspired by classics like Chrono Trigger, and yeah, you can definitely feel that influence. The turn-based combat adds timing mechanics, so pressing buttons at the right moment actually matters, making every fight more engaging. The pixel art is absolutely gorgeous, and the world feels alive with little secrets everywhere. The writing strikes a great balance between heartfelt and funny, and the soundtrack? Yasunori Mitsuda worked on it. Enough said. It's not just retro for the sake of nostalgia, it's got fresh ideas too. Easily one of the best modern takes on turn-based RPGs. Thousand Year Door takes classic turn-based combat and adds timing-based inputs that make every battle feel interactive. It's not just about picking commands, it's about nailing your moves to deal extra damage or block attacks. The writing is sharp and genuinely funny, with quirky characters and weird scenarios that somehow all work together. The world is full of secrets, side quests, and charming little details that keep you exploring. And visually, that paper cutout style still looks great, especially with the updated graphics in the remake. It's not just a great Mario RPG, it's one of the best turn-based games ever made. And that's our list. Whether you're into the classics or looking for something new with a modern twist, these turn-based RPGs bring the heat. We tried to mix it up with some big names, some hidden gems, and everything in between. Let us know which ones you've played or which ones you're adding to your backlog down in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, a like really helps us out. And if you're new here, consider subscribing for more lists just like this. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one.